What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Ricardo Show. I wasn't going to talk about running today, or I didn't plan on it, but this morning I completed my first ever half marathon, 13.1 miles, and I'm pretty proud of myself. It's such an accomplishment. It's exciting. I've been running for some time now. Actually, the last several months, I did a 40 for 40 mile challenge before turning 40, and I gave myself 52 days to accomplish that feat. And knowing that I just knocked out 13 in a single day, a single morning, that's huge. I'm excited. I love it. It's nice. It is. If I'm being completely honest, I can't believe I just did that. Because, like I said, if you followed me for a little bit now on Instagram, on social media at Ricky Ricardo Show, you know I've been posting about running, and it's been cool. It's a new hobby. It's a new challenge. It's a lot of things that goes into it that really helps me embody a mindset to continue to grow and continue to push forward. If you've known me for years or for a while, if you haven't known me, I was at one point pushing 280 pounds plus. I stopped stepping on the scale, but I'm pretty sure I hit 300 pounds. Then there was a point where I was just trying to run to see if I could run a full mile without stopping. Then I've done 5Ks, and I got pretty used to doing those recently. And I randomly did a 10-mile run on Father's Day just to push myself because I'm proud to be a father. And then recently, I've just been trying to get faster. I ran my fastest mile in 6 minutes and 30 seconds, which is pretty cool. And I'm just dropping a bunch of times to you, but this is how excited I am to run. Honestly, I just never realized I'd run a half marathon. It wasn't in a race. I didn't sign up and wear a number and do all that stuff. I actually woke up thinking I was going to run 5 miles or planning to run 5 miles. And when I got there, I was like, I feel good. Why not? Why not continue? Let's get to 8. When I got to 8, let's get to 10. And then at 10, I'm like, I'm only a 5K away. I'm, almost done with this. Let's get to a half marathon. And that's exactly what happened. We're going to get in certain situations where we have to push ourselves to try and go further and try and succeed and hit some accomplishments. And, that's what happened. The first few miles felt really easy. I settled into a rhythm and I wasn't paying attention to pace anymore. I do have a running watch, a Garmin watch that I think really helps. So it's hard to not look at that thing. But in today's run, I was doing my best to not take a peek. I was just running. I was just enjoying the grit, the pursuit of accomplishing something, like I said, that I never thought I would do. And around mile 10, this is where it gets interesting. I took a beating on my knees. It started to hurt. So I was like, do I quit or do I keep pushing through? I mean, they weren't screaming, they weren't in full pain. So I know some of you guys are like, well, then why didn't you stop? This could be an injury. But they were just letting me know, like, hey, it's go time. Like, are you going to continue or not? And if we continue, you're going to have to fight through this a little bit. I noticed my form started to fall apart. I was getting tired. I was constantly trying to fix it because I know fatigue was settling in. And I didn't have the best time. I ran about a 10-minute pace. But like I said, when I first started, I jumped out the gate running 5, and I did that at a decent pace, not knowing I was going to try and add 8 more miles. But every time I fell and every time I felt it was getting hard, I wasn't getting tired. But now we're in the stretch, so I had to shorten my stride. I had to stand taller, land differently. I had to cater to some soreness and fix my form. Almost every time that I didn't have correct form, my knees, got sore. And so I had to keep fixing and reminding myself that, hey, you're good, you're fine, you're okay. My breathing was okay. But mentally and physically, my body was exhausted. And it just kept happening over and over. And then I looked down. I'm at 12 miles. I'm at 12 and a half miles, then 13. And then I'm like, well, I'm almost there. 13.1. What's funny is I wasn't excited because I ran 13.1 miles. I was excited because I realize I'm becoming someone I never thought I'd become. And that is the fun, the exciting part. That's the hard part. We talk about becoming different. We talk about being the Swiss Army knife to navigate through life and to navigate through things. And I'm in the pursuit of financial freedom. This comes along with that, the thought process, the grit, the tried and the method to get there. You can, compare this to a lot of things that I'm actually trying to do. I weighed a lot before. I've again over 280 pounds. Running wasn't part of my life. I didn't grow up that way. I was pretty athletic, so I hit a point in my life where it got pretty dark and unhealthy. But it is what it is. But running, honestly, I hated it back then. If you asked me to run 13 miles or half marathon, I would tell you you're crazy. You're tripping. There's no way. I love to play basketball. Like I said, I'm into sports. I've been doing that my entire life growing up. But then, when I was in my 20s, it was pretty brutal. It got pretty unhealthy. Partied a lot, drank a lot, did all that stuff. But it is what it is. That's part of life. We got to change and evolve and see where we go from here. But that's why this matters, because not because of the distance, but because I think I can apply this to almost everything that I'm going through. The person you become usually shows up before the results, and then you become the person who wakes up early. And then the person keeps promising to themselves to actually go and do it. And then the person keeps trying when they're uncomfortable. Like, these are all characteristics. These are things that we strive to obtain. And then eventually, guess what? Where I'm hoping so, the results catch up. The results will catch up. And that's kind of how my real estate happened, right? I went out for a slow run. I went out for a walk, a jog, and I went through a sprint, got to the end, and I got through a headache. I got through some troubled issues with my flip, and I made a decent payday, made a decent paycheck. And it's similar to pushing through. You're already started, so just keep going. Not here to talk to you guys about being a fitness guru or anything like that, or a running coach, none of that. But I'm just trying to apply life and how I'm a regular guy trying to obtain some kind of financial freedoms, and just doing things that help me to get better. I work a lot. I'm a father, and where is the time to do certain activities? Well, you have to find it. Where's the time to learn, educate, and to find deals and do certain things? You have to find it. No one said it's going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. If you're listening to this and you're trying to lose weight, buy your first home, buy your first rental, build a business, whatever it is that you're trying to do, get out of debt or chase any goal. You don't have to become that person today. How about that? It doesn't all happen overnight. You just have to make one decision that the future you would make. But a year from now, you might surprise yourself. And if a year from now it actually works out for you, tell me this episode helped you. I'll catch you on the next episode. You guys are awesome. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. And let's continue to grow and be the best version of ourselves for ourselves. So thank you so much. Have a good week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.